Hi everyone, sorry it's been so long. I've been quite busy this week. I'm back out at soccer 4 nights a week, so both I coach on 2 of the nights and I play on another 2 of the nights. So pretty busy for me. Busy time of year. Go away Discord. Okay. So yeah, I thought I'd just make this video. I'm looking at wrapping up the deck. That I've been currently playing. I don't think it's as well placed as what it used to be, and just move on to a different build, different sort of main deck, and see how that performs in the meta. So just before I do that, I'll give a little bit of a quick recap on this deck here and my thoughts about it. So at the moment, I think we want the 6th source of totem armor. So need to make room for that somewhere. Just there's a lot of wrath effects, and I'm just not seeing the 5 that I've currently got enough. So just a little bit of a hedge bet there. Sentinel's Eyes I think is a little bit too heavy as a 3 of. Something I didn't really go into too much in my videos, but it came up when I was playing off camera a lot. It's a pretty massive nombo if you've only got 2 auras in your hand. And they're both Sentinel's Eyes and Rancor. It's really hard to attack into almost anything. Anything with 2 power will trade for your creature, and that's really bad and not where you want to be. Obviously we mulligan quite a bit with this deck, and not being able to attack on a mulligan hurts a lot. So what you really want to see is probably Sentinel's Eyes with some sort of evasiveness, or mostly with first strike. All that glitters sort of pseudo does that with just adding a bunch of toughness. Would make it a 4/4 attacker. Lot harder to block there. But yeah, that's where I'm sort of at with the main deck. Leyline doesn't seem that important for me to be in the main at the moment. When it's good, it's very good, and when it's not, it's a complete waste of time, and it's sort of like Once Upon a Time. If you draw into it, it's useless. It just needs to be in your opening hand, or else it adds absolutely no value, and it's pretty much like you didn't draw a card at all that turn. Okay, so Hushbringer. In the sideboard, I don't like it as much as I used to. I don't think it is as good against Amulet Titan as it used to be, but it's just still a very strong card against humans and spirits. Anything that's bringing in Reclamation Sages, Knight of Autumns, Deputy of Detention, etc, stops a whole bunch of what they're doing. It's really good against the Yawgmoth combo deck we saw the other day on camera. I didn't quite remember its name at the time. But yeah, he plays the Undying creatures, Young Wolf and Geras Messenger. It also plays Blood Artist. And yeah, basically it just looks to infinitely loop to kill you. So Blood Artist plus any Undying creature. I think it's just +1. Gives them an infinite loop. Actually, I think they have to have 2 Undying creatures, pardon me. But yeah, Geras Messenger obviously drains you for life. And what do you call them? Blood Artist helps you scry to Geras as well. Okay, so enough on that. Dismember, I think I liked. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more going forward. Path, of course, it's incredibly powerful. It's instant speed. I love it. Pithing Needle, maybe a bit narrow and fragile. I just really hate losing to Blast Zone. So I've been playing around with Gadok Teague, but that card hasn't really impressed me. I think a lot of the decks that you bring it into against, your control decks and also your Tron decks, which is either control or combo depending on your view of the deck and game, etc. A lot of them are packing Dismember to take care of that 3-mana Prismatic Omen creature that gives their lands all land types, and so just because they've got the hate for that, it's splashing across onto us, and it's hitting our sideboard cards, like I said. considering our Gadok Teagues. They're just way less valuable. My idea with Mana Tithe, I do have to test it a little bit more, but like on that turn where they tap out for Cryptic, you're normally looking to attack and kill, so they'll tap out, cast Cryptic Command, and then you counter it for 1 sneaky mana. The other thing is, usually they might hold like a counter spell for your Daybreak Coronet or something. So if you're casting Coronet on your turn 3 and you're at 3 lands, so you'll have a counter spell to interact with them, which seems pretty okay to me. Force of Vigor, I trimmed it back down to 2. I'm not seeing that much at the moment, and I wanted to diversify the sideboard out a little bit. I still really like the Rest in Peace and Grafdigger's Cage, and I like the 2-2 split. Okay. So what I'm looking at going forward is a much greedier deck. I still don't have any removal in the main. So first thing I should say is this is potentially subject to change. This is me just fitting in everything that I want in the deck, in the main deck aura-wise, and being extremely greedy, and I'll make cuts from there. And refine it, and probably add a little bit of interaction or protection in the form of like a suppression field or something. So obviously we've still got our 12th creatures. We've got our scouts and our boggles. They're all there, and then of course Spirit Dancer's there. None of that's changed, so just move them all out the way for a minute. Alright. So as I was saying before, I've gone up to 6 sources of totem armor with the Spider Umbra. I've upped my evasiveness as well with the Griffspoon. So there's, I think, 3 extra evasiveness spells between the 2 Griffspoon and the Spirit Mantle, all of which I was missing from my last list. So Griffspoon and Spider Umbra gives us 4 instances of being able to block flying. I would preferably like it a little higher, but I'm being greedy enough with the list already as it is. Sentinel's Eyes down to a 2-drop, but between that and Daybreak we have 6 sources of Vigilance, which is really nice. I've snuck in 2 Cartouche of Solidarity. It's a card that isn't seeing very much play at all, but I mean, against sacrifice effects it's going to be pretty good, being able to get that 1/1 token out. And also against your like mono red prowess, just having a chump blocker while being able to aggressively curve into your stuff seems pretty good to me. I'm pretty excited to play the card. And it hasn't gotten that much play from me in like the last year or so. All that glitters, just got it in there as a 2 of. Obviously, the 5th and 6th Ethereal Armors. Spirit Mantle, fantastic card, good against Death Shadow. You can jump block, you can attack, you can get through, and our All-Star of Daybreak Coronet. Just one other thing to keep in mind, guys. If you're finding that you're not hitting your Sentinel's Eyes escape cost frequently enough, it could be worth adding an extra fetch land or 2. There's a thought that I sort of had and never really explained. Maybe removing like a Razor Verge Thicket for an extra green fetch. Yeah, could be very handy in just allowing you to hit that card. Alright, so I'm just going to move across to the sideboard now, and it's all disorganized, so I'll have to just fix that real quick. Alright, so we can't quite have the nice numbers that we had before, obviously because I'm slipping 3 ley lines into the board. I have to cut my numbers down a little bit on everything. So I've cut down a Rest in Peace. I've still kept the 2 cages, 3 ley lines, 2 force, kept that. I've cut a Dismember, so I've still got 3 removal spells between the split. I do think I want it as a split of 1 Dismember and 2 Path at the moment. 2 Hushbringer, obviously when it's good it's very good. And 2 Mana Tithe. It's just my replacement for Gadok Teague. I don't think boarding in like a 1 of Mana Tithe against anything that plays Cryptic Command is really going to do you anything, so might as well run 2 of them just to give the card a bit more of a better showing. Okay, so that's sort of the deck tech on this one. Just one other update on the channel is I'm going to be switching my format. I'm going to be doing one game at a time each day, and I'm going to have it sort of release at the same time, so you guys can sit down, watch a half-hour video daily. Less of a time commitment than sitting down for a whole league. And then yeah, I might still do like a full weekly league for those of you that want it, like sort of 90 minutes, 2 hours. But yeah, just basically my reasoning for doing that is just try and grow the channel a little bit. The YouTube algorithms take into account not just the number of views, but like the duration they watch through your videos. And at the moment, like the statistics show that, or the analytics, pardon me, are showing that most people aren't watching through to the end. So yeah, I'm just looking to improve myself from an algorithmic point on YouTube to just get promoted for free and all of that sort of stuff. Reach more viewers. But yeah, that's it for this. I'm going to stop this recording, and then I'm going to jump into a league on a different recording. So thanks for watching.